YouTube family. I missed you. Please don't feel like I'm neglecting you guys. Mental health has been real. It's been all over the place. There's actually so many different things going on in my life. Well, not really, but there's a big change that's going to happen in my life, and I'm just really excited about it. After being sick for like a whole week, actually my whole family was sick. It's been kind of hard to get back into my routine of things, and I think that when I was in the routine of waking up early and everything, it was easier to vlog. But since I've been sick, it's been a little harder. Right now I'm getting ready to do a workout during lunchtime. It's actually big life update. I put in my 2 weeks basically 2 weeks ago. And this week is actually my last week, and I'm so happy, you guys. I don't think I've talked much about how stressful work has been, but I know I've mentioned burnout a couple of times, and I'm just happy to be able to just be a stay-at-home mom while my little man is young. I think it's such a blessing, and also it's such a privilege nowadays. But that's my big life update. Also, some other things I did want to kind of sit down and chit chat with you guys about. I did try to film it 2 days ago, and I feel like for the most part, I was just crying. And I kind of just wanted to refilm it again with a clear mind. I feel like because when you talk about something, obviously all the feelings, the emotions come back up, and that's something that I learned with therapy. I felt like I was so depressed doing therapy the whole time. So therapy was great for me. It was very therapeutic and very eye-opening into the things that I really needed to look into. But in hindsight, I think for me as an individual, I just could not do it. I could not continue to talk about things that were making me upset, things, my past, my trauma as a child. I just couldn't do it. So I decided that it wasn't for me. But I'm just putting on, oh, that was a lot. Hopefully I can cover it up. It's like a big doll. I think if you've seen my shorts, I've been talking about this Lumi Glow foundation. Well, I guess it's not a foundation. It says it's a natural glow enhancer. And honestly, I kind of think it reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless foundation. Or it's not a flawless, it's flawless filter. It's more of like a glow, and I actually really like it. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a dupe, because I do find that the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter does have a little coverage. I think that this is just a good trade-off instead of buying a $50 makeup product. And also you can always wear a little bit of foundation, or maybe just mix it in with your foundation to possibly get the same coverage as a flawless filter. But like I said, flawless filter doesn't have that much coverage. It does have a little bit, but I really like it. I think that it makes the skin look so good. I think it was like $11 if I'm not mistaken. I've been trying to be more I've been trying to be better at spending money when it comes to makeup. And by that I mean I've been trying to buy more drugstore, and I just purchased the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I got the color in 135 medium beige. I think this was like maybe $9 or $10, but I've actually personally been liking it. I just do a little bit. I do think it's a little bit lighter. It's definitely brightening concealer for me. So I do think I want to buy one that's more of my natural skin color, so that on days I want to just conceal, I could just pop it in. Did just purchase our leg extension and our leg curl machine. It's a 2-in-1. We've been on the market looking for one, and we've been seeing a lot of like plate loaded machines, and honestly a lot of them looked really flimsy, especially because my husband is a bigger man. Like, we need to buy something that's very sturdy, you know what I'm saying? And so we found one at GMWD, which is also like a brand that we've purchased on Facebook Market before. We actually got two gym equipment on Facebook Market. Um, and so we purchased this other product from them, and we actually love it. It's so nice. We did also kind of move things around, so the gym space just looks really good. I do want to do like a whole cleaning on it because, since we moved all the machines around, it kind of scratched the floor. So I do need to go ahead and like kind of scrub it with water and then mop it with our little like I think it's like a polish for rubber. I've also got the L'Oreal. This bronzer, you guys, is so good. It's like, I think it was like $11 maybe. I don't know. I know that a lot of these products are affordable and I really like it. I feel like it reminds me of the Rare Beauty. That's what I was thinking. The other day I was like putting it on and I was like, I kept thinking of like, what does it remind me of? And it definitely reminds me of the Rare Beauty bronzer in the color Happy. Not Happy. I have to go back with that. I'm thinking about the blush that's called Happy, but it reminds me of their cream bronzer that's in like a stick. It's kind of in the same like not the same packaging but similar because it's in the stick format. But I really like it. Like I feel like this is going to be my summer makeup. I sweat profusely, and so for me to be wearing a lot of makeup during the summer is not it. I've been watching a lot of makeup videos and trying to use the same things that I have. And I did see a lot of girls talking about how purple just looks a lot better on like medium complexion skin tone. I guess you can say I'm more like a medium to dark. I don't know if like my actual skin color is showing through like the camera, but I did purchase the Patrick Tall She Goes to the Gym. I've had it for a little bit. I think I purchased it maybe 2 months ago, and I've been really liking it because it actually looks like it's pink on me. It doesn't, or like kind of like a flushed pink color, and I really like it. Like it looks super natural on me, and I think it took me a long time to understand like how colors look differently on everybody, and I just think like purple or like color like mauve blushes look really just natural like on my skin tone, and I am like obsessed with it. But that's all I'm doing today, and probably my lashes. The Laura Mercier is so good. I did buy I think I showed you. Did I show you guys? Probably not. I've been all over the place. I had purchased the Huda Beauty. I had purchased the Huda Beauty. What's it called? Powder. I forgot what it's called. But I liked it a lot. But I think that I've just been using Charlotte Tilbury. Not Charlotte Tilbury. What am I thinking about? I've just been using Laura Mercier for so long that I just know she's gonna work. I think, do you guys remember in 2014, 15, 16 craze where like everyone was using Laura Mercier translucent powder? Like I remember those days like they were yesterday. I'm gonna use this bigger brush to just kind of pat it in everywhere. Usually I go with like a powder, bronzer, and blush, but I kind of just want to keep it like this. I think that looks better like that for me right now. Also, I'll be working out and everything's just gonna look really nice and dewy afterwards. I need to get a new pad for my Shiseido lash curler. So I have super straight lashes. I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, like they're super straight, and I have to use a Shiseido eyelash curler for my eyelashes to like be lifted. Nothing else works on me. And it's kind of annoying because Shiseido lash curlers are like a little bit more expensive. Ooh, see, it makes such a big difference. anyone else get annoyed by their baby hairs, I feel like I had shaved this off. I feel like we've all done that, right? And now they're like growing. They're a little bit longer, but I need them to grow so that I can have a perfectly beautiful line. Amanor mascara. This is the telescopic mascara. It's waterproof. If you have straight lashes like I do and they're super stubborn, you need waterproof mascara. I know that some people say that it's a little difficult to get off, but honestly, I always take my makeup off with a liquid cleanser and a little pad, but I make sure that it says it removes waterproof makeup, and I find it easier. But for the rest of my face, I always use a cleanser, a balm cleanser, the Clinique. I think it's like a balm, like you rub it into your hands and it becomes like an oil. I really love it. I actually had to buy the big tub because I kept using it up so quickly. Sometimes we think that the little travel size is gonna last us, but it never lasts. It never lasts. So definitely the big tub has lasted me like a hot minute. This is our makeup to go work out and our home trip. It just helps with the vibe. But I also did purchase this one again. This is such a good like eyebrow gel. It says it holds up to 24 hours. I don't know if that's true. I haven't tested it, but it's good because I'm gonna throw this away. It has a little bit. Well, let me see. It has a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna last. Like maybe for like, yeah, it's not even enough. I think this one was $10. I keep saying everything's $10, and it's probably like 11 or 12 or more. I don't know. Really ask is how I keep my house clean. Let me just show you the reality of having a toddler. So I'm literally washing the covers because my toddler likes to just rub his hands all over, and this is how my house is looking. Everything all over the place. So that's just like the reality of having a toddler and living in a home. I think often a lot of us, especially as women, we like to make it seem like no one is at home, and like that's just not realistic. Most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, like when I'm making content, I really try to make sure like the whole area is clean, but also like I like to just clean with you guys because it can kill two birds with one stone, as they say. But I have an hour to work out, and my little man's actually getting his haircut today. We do have his birthday party coming up, and I'm so excited. I remember last year I kind of showed you a little bit of what I did, but this year I feel like now, because I have the hang of like vlogging, it's just gonna be so much fun. Again, this year I'm making his cupcakes. I'm also making, I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry, I need to work on my speaking skills, but I am making the Hawaiian sandwich rolls. I'm also making an inspired Philadelphia cheese Hawaiian roll and burger a burger roll. So I'm gonna have 3 different types of rolls, making the muffins. I do want to see if I can make little like cake pops so they can look like dinosaur eggs because that's our theme. My little man loves dinosaurs, so I'm just so excited. But I'm gonna have a lot of things to do. But last year when I was doing everything, it honestly wasn't that stressful because a lot of the sandwiches, like it's easy. Like you can just buy bulk, cook up everything real quick, and then just lay it there and then put it in the oven to bake. So it's not gonna be that hard. Not even the cakes or the muffins. Like it was super simple, especially if you buy like a cake mix. And that's what I did last year. And I'm gonna do the same thing because why not? And just the cake pops is what I'm a little bit like nervous about. I don't know how they're gonna turn out, but we are gonna have to buy like a tent kind of thing. What is it called? A canopy for outside so that we can have our guests outside. Last year we did it inside, and so even if it rains, we still have like the canopy, and then we're gonna use our little man's like the playground as like a little like park area. I think it's gonna be so cute, you guys. I can't wait to show you and just kind of vlog it. But see, I always go on tangents. Why don't y'all stop me? Like, Fab, we're watching this like a whole 2 weeks after you posted it. Anyways, I don't know what we're gonna do. I think we might do legs. Yesterday I went to an F45 class in the morning, and it was so good. That's something that I really want to stay consistent on, going to early morning classes, because now that I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom, I'm gonna be at home with just my little man all the time. Even though I am at home, but at least when I'm working, I'm like talking to people. But even then, I don't really talk to anybody because we're always just working. So I don't know, you guys. I'm like really excited. I feel like I've been so stressed for a long time that this is gonna be an adjustment for me, not having to go on my computer. You know, like just being a mom. And even though like I try my hardest, right? We all try our hardest to be great parents. I truly feel like having my job at home sometimes takes away a lot of opportunity that I can have with my little man. Like, I know if he was in daycare, at least he would be like with other children, but maybe I'm just like very old school, and also maybe I have a privileged mindset. I just don't want my little man to be in a daycare. Like, I grew up with my mom being such a hard worker and being taken care of by babysitters, and then by the age of like 13, 14, I became a babysitter for my little brother, and I don't want that life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it for my son. I feel like because of that, it just felt like my mom missed a lot of things. I felt like I had really like no relationship with my mother, and I just don't want that. And I know that a lot of people's lives are different. Like, I know that there's a lot of people that have like mothers and fathers that worked a lot and they still have such a close relationship with their parents, but for me, it was the opposite. I did not have I still to this day don't have a close relationship. And maybe it's because of that. I don't know. But I know that my mom was always she was, like I said, she was hardworking. And I know that she was probably super stressed. She was going through a lot. And I can only imagine now as a mother and having had worked a job that was stressful, like I can only imagine how it affected her mental health, and then having to come home to children, and like, I don't know, I guess it's just a lot, right? But I see things in a different light, and because of that, I want things differently for my son. But and I just want to say that both chapters are beautiful in women's life. As someone that was a working mom and a stay-at-home mom, I see like a working moms as such a beautiful thing to be able to do, right? Because we have free will. But I know not everyone wants to be in that position. But with the economy, most of us have to be in that position. And life is just not as easy as it used to be way back then. And stay-at-home mom life is hard too, especially if your husband is a blue collar, or if they're the provider of the home. Like, you know, like you kind of feel like a weight of like making sure everything at home is good, so that your husband doesn't have that stress. Just in general, being a father, being a mother, being a human being is stressful. But just boom. I really love like this Lululemon jacket. I will say, as someone that purchases a lot of sets though, our outfit is so good. It's so much cheaper compared to it. But I feel like Lulu's used to last a lot longer back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember, but like just items like used to be like so good. I look like a potato. It is in the room, but this is the new equipment that we purchased. That's our leg extension, leg curl machine, or lion leg curl machine. Absolutely obsessed with this machine. Like, I feel like leg days are such a game changer now. And then you guys already, I believe you have seen our hip abductor and our hip thrust. And then my husband installed these awesome hexagon lights last night. I feel like it just makes the gym space look so cool. But anyways, I need to work out in. We're going to the Whitty Museum here in San Antonio. I've actually never been, even though I've lived here for 5 years. But I think it's perfect because my son is obsessed with dinosaurs, so I'm really excited to take him there with us. So I'm gonna take y'all with us, and it's also free. So something I've been learning as my second day as a stay-at-home mom, I'm literally like just googling like free things to do, and on this day, I think it's like tax-free Tuesday, and like the tickets are free, and so I think I saved like $60 or something like that. But so the museum was so much fun. Now we're gonna get some food at my favorite place down on Grayson and see where the day takes us. I can't believe it's 6:30 and the sun is still out. Down Grayson was super good. I'm so full. Now we're just walking around the Pearl. I was telling my husband that I can't believe it's a Tuesday and we're downtown. Usually we only come here on weekends, right, babe? Yep. Hey friends. I know I've been all over the place. Trust me, it's Friday and I'm like barely recording again. I think I'm really trying just to find my routine, right, with being a stay-at-home mom. I know that not everyone wants like a routine being a stay-at-home mom, but for me, I thrive in routine, and that's just what I'm going to continue to do. So I definitely think that I'm going to be working out in the mornings like I have been. This week, I woke up like in the morning 2 times, so I really like to do it again consistently. And then, so like when my son is sleeping, nap time, I can do my content, create my content, whatever I need to do, so I can still do all the things that I love, and of course record sometimes while I'm, being a stay-at-home mom, But you guys know I don't like to post my son that much, so I just have to see how I can post being a stay-at-home mom without posting my son as much, because like he didn't sign up for this. You know what I'm saying? And I also created social media. It was around me, revolving me, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that I want to continue to do, and still somehow be able to be like a content creator, like a mom content creator, And I'm going to be honest, when I quit my job, I never even thought about content creation being like another source of income. I've known how finicky I know how finicky it is. I like in 2022 to 2023, like I was making money on social media. Definitely not where I could quit my job, but I was making a significant amount, at least like I think like $1,000 a month at least. And so now just it's a lot different. I feel like it used to be easier back then. Like, you were monetized for your videos back then, and now you're not. Like, and I'm talking about like Instagram, like where you were monetized, like you would make money depending on how many people viewed your views, and I had pretty high ratings at that time, or pretty high views. But also, if you've been following me since then, you know that I post very differently than I did back then. So it's just different now. And so this week I was actually fortunate enough to receive an email from a brand. So I'm actually getting ready to make content for this brand, and I'm just so excited because it's like I'm finally like getting opportunities that I've been kind of like praying for, if I'm being honest. For me, it's like I want to be on social media, but I also want to be of service to my family. And so if that means that I need to like grind it out a little bit so that I can, you know, at least take my family on vacation, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that I want to do for my family. And it's also fun too. I love, like you guys know, I love just hitting record, just always just sharing with you all. So I just feel lucky enough that I love doing it and that I'm finally getting these opportunities. But I'm going to do my makeup. My eye has been like super watery. Like, these allergies in Texas are insane. I'm really getting tired of it. I'm over it. I just want it to end. So I'm just gonna chit chat with you guys. I'm just going to chit chat and just talk to you guys about what's been going on. I know that I've touched on this on Instagram, but I haven't really spoken about it on YouTube because I feel like it's a lot different on YouTube. Like, obviously on YouTube, like, I have the opportunity to be more in depth, to share a lot more vulnerability than I can on Instagram because it's just a few seconds. So back in December, I found out I was pregnant. And then, like, during the holidays and Christmas time, I was going through a miscarriage. That was very traumatizing for me, not only because I was going through a miscarriage and it's something that we had prayed for, but also because, you know, when I was calling my medical providers, I was actually about to switch my OB, and I kind of got like a taste of the OB that I was going to go to, and the experience was horrible. While I know that you can't do anything for a miscarriage, I think that you can still be empathetic about it when a woman is going through it. And when I called the OB, they were like, oh, like, you should be fine. If you're bleeding, like, you know, if it's more than a pad, if you're soaking through the pad, go to the emergency room, but it should just be a period. And I felt like they were so desensitized to the fact that I was going through this traumatizing experience in my life that I've never gone through, and for it just to be like desensitized like that and just spoken to, like, no validation or anything, it was just icing on the cake for what I was already experiencing. It was honestly so physically and emotionally painful. Like I said, it's something that we had been praying for, and just to go through the experience of a miscarriage, just to go through the physical, like, cramping pains, and then for, you know, I want to say my baby, but just for the sake of this video, for the matter to come out of your body, it's insane. And like, I felt everything. I felt my baby coming out, and I know I don't want to sound like gruesome, but that's genuinely how I felt it was in my heart. And so I started getting deep in my word. You know, God was leading me. I just genuinely feel that God speaks to a lot of us through reading the Bible. So I always think it's so important to open up your Bible and spend time with God. And I generally feel like he was telling me to read the first book of Samuel. I felt so much connection to Hannah, especially because she had been praying for her son. And, you know, a few weeks go by where mind you, I haven't gotten my period since like November time frame. And it's already February this time. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm experiencing symptoms of being pregnant, and I was just like, this can't be, you know. I didn't have my period, and then I googled it, and it was like you can be ovulating as soon as 2 weeks. And I was shocked, and like, and a part of me was really happy but also really scared. After going through like a miscarriage, I feel like a part of the excitement of being pregnant again is kind of taken away, because now you're really cautious, right? Especially after experiencing loss. And so I found out I was pregnant on February 2nd. I was really happy, but like I said, nervous. I immediately called my OB, and because of what had happened, you know, the previous time, they wanted me to go in that following week. And this was like a Tuesday. And so, what's it called? Losing my train of thought. And so, like, days go by, and then I'm like physically at work that day on a Friday. And everything is just going usual, you know. Nothing, like, I can't think of anything that would have caused this. Like, even the first time, I can't think of anything. And like, well, yes, I had run a half marathon when I found out I was pregnant, but I was running, like, you know, doctors will tell you, like, if you have been doing this before you got pregnant, then it's okay, right? And I've never had any like symptoms when I was with my, like, pregnant with my son. I never experienced anything, and I was lifting heavy, like I was very physically active, and I never experienced any bleeding, anything like that. And so the second time I was at work, and I went to the bathroom, and then again, and it was like I had PTSD all over again. Just seeing that little blood on the napkin, I was just like, what the heck is going on? Like, my body, like, it was just a horrible feeling of just PTSD. And I didn't realize, like, I had developed PTSD until my husband, the first experience, he was like, you just went through something really traumatic. Like, you need to give yourself time. And when it happened again, I just had all these feelings overflowing through me, like, just so bad. Like, I was just so, like, angry, and I was like, why would this happen again? And then I called my OB again, and the same kind of, like, thing that I experienced from the other OB, like, you know, if you bleed through, like, a pad, go to the emergency room. And I literally started bawling on the phone, and I was like, but this is the same thing that happened last time. And I think that's when the on-call person knew that, oh crap, like, this is like, that's when she kind of switched it to like an empathetic mode, and she's like, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. She's like, you can definitely go to the ER to see, like, where your levels are at, to see if you can get an ultrasound done. And I didn't go to the ER because in my heart I knew that it was happening again, and that later that night, the same thing, I experienced severe cramps, and then I felt my baby come out. And I'm sorry if it upsets you when I'm saying that, but that's just how I genuinely felt. And after that second time, like, I just emotionally could not do it anymore. I just was physically going through it, emotionally just going through it, emotionally so, like, upset. Just, I'm not going to lie, the Lord knows this, like, I felt so like upset at God. I was like, God, why is this happening? You know, like, I just want to have, like, more children. Like, I want to hear my babies, I want to hear children laughing in my house, you know, like, I just want more children. And I know that God cried with me. I know that he feels my pain, and I know that he felt my pain at that time, and I know he still feels it, because, like, obviously, like, it's something that you don't get over, right? Like, I think as time passes by, you're just like, my babies would have been one, you know what I'm saying? And also, like, for it to be back to back, I think that's even more, like, just, it's just a really hard emotionally, like, draining time. And so I just felt really, like, mad. I know that my husband, God bless my husband, I know he was interceding for me. I know he was praying for me. I asked him to pray for me because I just felt like I couldn't get the words out, you know? And I know that the Lord had his hand on my shoulder. I felt like he was with me the whole time, and I know that he knows my pain, and I know he sees it. And I just, it was just a hard time. And, you know, something that was a reminder during this like time was like, in our following Christ, believing in God, like, we're not exempt from pain. It just means that we don't have to walk that line alone. And that's something that I've heavily been feeling in this season of like, while yes, like I'm suffering, like I'm emotionally like just, I've had it, you know, emotionally just so tired, but God is still with me. And I felt like so much, just calmness, just peace with knowing that he is with me and he sees me. And during those 2 times, you know, the first time I told my husband, like, I had a thought. And whenever I have a thought, I always think it's the Holy Spirit. But sometimes, you know, like, you just be like, is it me that having that thought? And sometimes I know it's not, because I'm like, girl, you're not that wise. But I had this thought, and it was like, you're not going to have another baby until you quit your job. And this was the first time. And I super ignored it, girl, because I was just like, but I like my job, right? But I started noticing myself kind of like hating my job. And while my job has been was a blessing to my family, to me, in my singleness, I was just like, there's no way I'm feeling this way. And then when it happened again, and I got the same voice, I heard the same thing. You're not going to have another child until you quit your job. I was like, girl, I know this is not me. And I told my husband about it, you know. Girl, I tell my husband everything. And I told him like what I heard. My husband pondered with it. And then maybe like 1 or 2 weeks later, I literally catch COVID. I caught COVID and I got horribly sick. And then my son caught the flu and COVID, and then my husband caught the COVID. And the craziest thing is that we were really sick. Like, we were, my son and myself, we were getting like 100-degree fever, right? And the whole time I'm like trying to, you know, tend to my little baby, and my husband is tending to me, so that, you know, we're just all helping each other out here. We're all struggling. And keep thinking, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get so behind on work. Like, I literally couldn't even be sick without thinking about my job. Or I literally couldn't be sick. I was constantly thinking about my job. I'm gonna have so many cases. And then lo and behold, I freaking log into my computer, and I have like 10 cases assigned to me. And mind you, I was only off for like 2 days, but I have 10 cases assigned to me on top of the ones that I already have. And I just like, I was just like, this is insane. Like, I felt like I wasn't having any time to process anything that was going on, because like work was just keeping me like busy. And when I was sick, I was going through it emotionally. I genuinely felt like that time, the Lord was saying to just rest in him and just let it all out. And girl, I let it all out. I had breakdown sessions. I was just crying. My husband was just hugging me, he was just trying to see what he can do, just be there for me. And when I logged into my computer, I was like, what the heck is this? My husband looked at me and he was like, put in your 2 weeks. And I cried. I was like, oh my gosh, I've worked so hard for this position. I remember, I tell this to my friends all the time, you know, because I'm a big believer in rejection is just redirection, or it's just not that time. I applied for that job 3 times. 3 times. And 2 times I did not get it. And the 3rd time I got it, and I was just so happy. I was like, man, like, you know, like, rejection is just redirection. And I firmly believe that I just needed to learn more. And that's what I did. And then I got the job. And I felt like my job is such a big blessing, right? You get to work from home. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, it wasn't as stressful as it is now. It was actually a whole different position. And we got new management and it changed. And like the workload was just different. Everything was different. And I was like, holy crap. And so since, getting pregnant, since having my son, my workload has been growing and just growing for everybody. It was growing and growing and growing. And mind you, it was a small group. And so something that I generally am not, I don't want to say that I'm happy, but I felt seen was that all my coworkers were feeling the same thing. It wasn't just me, just feeling like, what the heck is going on? It was just all my coworkers. And so, I was just kind of like, just thinking of like, what am I doing? I'm going to quit this job that I was praying for, and now it doesn't feel like a blessing, And even then, like thinking about it, my husband had made a comment. He's like, baby, you're so like stressed right now. Like, imagine how it's going to be with 2 kids. Like, how are we going to do it? Because my husband also works from home, but he is also very helpful. But of course, we have jobs that like require us to be on our computer, require us to investigate, require us to like type and stuff, meetings. It's not something that I can just get off and look at an email and then get off. I literally have to be on my computer all the day, like that's just what the job is. And even though I didn't have to log in, like I would work on weekends too. Like that's how it was. And so like I was just thinking about it. I'm like, man, like if we can't have another child if I'm in this job, because how are we going to do it? And, my husband and I don't believe in daycare, like I don't have no, if your child's in daycare, like your child's in daycare, that's your, like, your decision. I don't fault anybody for doing it. It's a hard time right now. It's a hard time. Like this economy, like if you want children, like a lot of us have to work, you know what I'm saying? Like I did, I had work. And so that's just something that we don't want to go down the road for. And also I just watched too much True Crime Girl and too much Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you see everything. And so that was just not an option. And I gave in my 2 weeks notice. I told him like, this is my last day, and those 2 weeks could not go by any slower. But now looking back, like I just feel like a whole weight was lifted off my shoulders. Even my husband now is able to concentrate more on his job, and like I'm able to just focus on the home, and I'm just really happy. Now, does that mean that I'm not going to go back into the workforce? No, it doesn't. I would like to go back to the workforce, but I'm giving myself time, I'm giving my body time, but also it just depends, right? Like, so if I have another, if we have another child, which I just firmly believe the Lord's going to bless us with another child. I feel it, whether it be me having a baby physically or adoption. I just know that it's going to happen. And, if that happens, then I probably won't go back to the workforce, if I'm being honest. If my children, when they're older, like, would I go back? I don't know. I still haven't, we haven't hit that road yet, but whatever happens, I just know that we're going to be obedient to the Lord. I feel like, at first I was really scared. It was like, it's scary, right? Because like, you're just used to making this money and what it covers, and it's just like, it's gone then, you know what I'm saying? And I'm lucky enough for it not to be my only source of income, but it's still like a significant decrease in income for my family. So obviously it's going to be a season of just budgeting, of faithfulness, of just being a good steward of the things that I already have. So I've definitely found myself just being more mindful of how, like, I even wash my clothes. I didn't even know this, but apparently fabric softener ruins your workout clothes, like it makes it softer so that it peels faster. So that's even something that I've stopped using just for our clothes to last longer. So just like little things, even mindful of like our grocery list. My goal is like $700 a month. Just being more mindful of the things that we have. Like if I'm buying groceries, like these are like the meals that I'm going to make throughout the week. I'm even trying to make bread. So if y'all have good bread recipes, let me know, because I try to make white bread and it just did not turn out good. But just in general, just being more mindful of all the things, right? Like my nails, like this is the last time I'm gonna have my nails done. I bought some like press-ons. So like just little things that I know that I can like kind of, take off the list. like in budgeting wise, like that I can do, that will still make me feel like, you know, I'm still able to be a girl because I'm a girl, but I'm still a stay-at-home mom, you know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely kind of, you know, talk to you guys more about it. I know that some people probably don't care, but I know that some people do. And even if you aren't a parent, a lot of us are still having to budget, right? Like even in your singleness, I feel like groceries right now are a lot more expensive than when I was single. Like rent is a lot more expensive. I remember being able to live by myself and still being okay. I feel like a lot of prices have gone up though now, and it's just a lot tougher, right? Especially if you're like in your 30s and you want to save money. Even in your 20s, you want to save money and buy a house. Like, you know, you can't really save money if you're living in an apartment and still paying all of your bills, right? So I definitely just get how it is. Like times are tough now. I hope things get better for everybody, but you know, just times are tough. But those are just things that I've been kind of learning and navigating. And while it is tough, I've just kind of, you know, dealing with it, right? Because it's not that I need these things, I just want them. And I was just so spoiled because I would just buy them whenever I wanted something, and that's also not good. But that's really just like the life update that I want to give you guys. I've been wanting to make that video like explaining of everything that happened, but I think I just needed time. I'm not going to lie, I recorded like what had been happening like 3 times, and each time I was just overwhelmed with just sadness, and I was just crying the whole time. And I was like, I can't even I can't put this up there, right? Because I'm not even explaining like in things in a way that I wanted to. So I definitely needed time. And I also wanted to share it because I know like a lot of us women go through things like this. Like 1 in 4 women have miscarriages. And unfortunately, it's such a taboo thing to talk about. And I just don't want to forget my babies. I don't want them to just be, oh, things that happened to me. No, like that happened to my family. Those were my babies. One thing that, has really made a lasting impact was my sister-in-law. When I went through my first miscarriage, she was like, you know what, Fabi, like this just makes you want to continue to be close with God, with Christ, to follow Christ so that you can see your babies. And it just made me cry. And I told my husband, and I saw little tears in him. It's like, that's exactly what I want. Like I want to continue to follow Christ so that I can see my babies, so that we can all see my babies, so that my son can meet his siblings. So that's just the main goal, to continue to follow Christ. But I just wanted to share that. I know that oftentimes we don't feel seen. There's nothing that anyone can say that will make you feel better. But honestly, what my sister-in-law said made me feel better, you know? So I hope that makes someone else feel better out there. But anyways, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and may God continue to bless you and your family. Bye.